it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Y'all, we're finally ready to have another Sunday brunch. I didn't schedule this ahead of time, so I hope enough of y'all got the notifications. I hope enough of y'all was watching me live tweet last night through all the chaos. And for the ones that want to get cute, y'all, I cannot in my Jocelyn Hernandez voice. Give me a hot fucking second. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to be cussing this hard at the beginning of the video, but my goodness, give me a hot second. Like, my technology don't want to work. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Apologies, okay, on this beautiful Sunday. But for the ones that was hating, welcome to not a Sunday brunch. But I guess if you want to call this a Destiny hate train, that's what it's just gonna be. Okay? And I'm laughing because that just sounds ridiculous to me, knowing the amount of chaos that happened in last night's episode, that I could ever make this video all about Destiny. One thing is for sure, and that's just that everybody is going to be reviewed. Everybody is going to be reviewed this episode, okay? Let me continue to get my technology going. Because I see it's 37 of y'all in here. I need y'all to go ahead and answer me a couple questions. Woosah with Shell, hey. Bondi, she said she here and slightly hung over. I'm here for it, okay? TT, Miss Wilson, hey. Yaya, the real Enda, hey. Miss Ann, okay? One thing I need y'all to tell me. The title of this video is Finally Martell is Innocent. Y'all, is that right? Or is it wrong? I sat there this morning and I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, everybody can get red for their behavior last night, at least for one thing, right? But then I was sitting there thinking, can Martell be red based on last night's episode, y'all? Martell can always be red, but based on last night's episode, y'all, I can't think of anything that Martell should have done differently. And he might be the only person I feel like to not get smoke from me this episode, okay? Comment that below. Let me know real quick. Was Martell the only person that was innocent in this episode? That'll give me a hot second to get this together. Because I really don't want to manage my comments on my phone. My phone just has better camera quality. But I really just do not want to manage my comments on my phone. Because I need to, for this episode, y'all, I need to be in the comments with y'all. We need to be this close together. Okay. Jada says, to be honest, he was trying to keep the peace until Marcel tried to gaslight him, girl, right? Annabelle says, yes, Martell tried to walk away, but Marcel got bucked. Okay, not last night. This wasn't on Martell. And nah, he don't need to be red today. He was innocent this time, y'all. And I'm honestly like, I'm shocked. I didn't think he was going to be innocent this time, because when is he ever? That boy was cheesing ear to ear when he was talking to Miss Van, okay? Now, y'all know how we usually always like to do it. We always like to go in with the pregame of Bell Collective. But I know a lot of y'all are only here for one thing and one thing only, and that is love and marriage Huntsville. That's love and marriage Huntsville. But don't worry, we're gonna get into it. Okay, hold on, I'm almost there, y'all. While y'all sitting here waiting on me, go ahead and like the video. And one of the good things is, y'all, for those y'all who don't really give a damn about Bell Collective, I didn't take notes, so I got 3 talking points, okay? And then we'll go ahead and get into it. 3 talking points, okay? Give me 6 minutes tops. 6 minutes tops on Bell Collective, okay? 1 second. Y'all do me a favor, like the video, and then we can get started. All right? y'all. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Now I have my comments down below so I can be in the comments with y'all. And then I have everything up top. So sound check. We 6 minutes in. Live crew. Y'all know how we like to do replay crew, fast forward. Let me know. Can you hear me? Can you see me? And we're going to move on. Can you hear me? Can you see me? And we're going to move on. Oh, didn't need that picture. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Sounds great. National Mars says yes. All right. Okay. So y'all, 3 points that I wanted to talk about on Bell Collective. Number one, we found out that Glenn is not the pappy. Glenn is not the father of 8 or 9-year-old little Glennette Jr. Okay. After that, I don't know what that is. Oh, y'all funny. Okay, he's not the father. Y'all, I felt like it could go up either way. I felt like one part of me was like, okay, if he was the father, y'all already knew he was the father before y'all came on the show. The other part of me felt like that would be foolish as hell for you to come on the show to find out for the first time that he was. So yeah, that whole little thing is cute. The next thing that happened during Bell Collective was Latrice. Latrice talked about her childhood trauma. She talked about not having her a dad in her life and how she just don't want to have a kid right now, and that she does believe that her mama was right when her mama said that Cliff, she basically married her dad, right? I'm glad she knew that. The last thing that I wanted to talk about was Tambra and Damon. Okay, y'all tell me if it's just me, but I actually believe Damon when it comes to what's the girl's name? Whatever the decorator's name is, okay? I do believe that Damon had relations with that woman in the past. I don't think that the relations were recent. I don't even think they were as recent as the past 3 to 4 years. I think that the lady has wanted to be on the show for a minute. And this is what she used to get on the show. I thought it was interesting that Tambra also said when the show first started, she came to production and said she had tea on everybody. I'm not surprised because that is one of those things that just happens whenever people get on TV shows. You find these characters who just get on the show by way of some crazy ass storyline that they have going on. So I do believe that Damon messed with that woman, but I don't think it was any time recent. And I can understand why Tambra was paying that lady dust. On the other side of things, it's also like when you've been a girlfriend for 15 years on and off, I feel like you got to understand that something happened in between the 15 years where y'all was on, off, this, that. I think Tambra understood that, which is probably why Tambra didn't want to have the conversation. Okay. So y'all let me know if that's where y'all are at on Bell Collective. I said give me 6 minutes tops. That was really 3 minutes. All in all, y'all, I think that it was a good reunion. I did see Carlos get really emotional when it came to speaking about women in his family, which I thought was interesting because we usually never see the host that like in tune and involved with the reunions. But yeah, I mean, that's all I think about Bell Collective. I hope they get another season. I definitely want Akeisha back. I want all the ladies back. I don't want to talk about the decorator next season, okay? But that's that on Bell Collective. If y'all are here for Love and Marriage Huntsville, let me know in the comments, okay? Because we can go ahead and get on into it. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. I'm excited to talk to y'all about this because I remember at the end of the first season, at the end of part 1 of the last season, I don't know if they're calling this a brand new season or if they're calling this like season 4, part A, part B. But back in, I think it was like June where we ended off. They put out the little teaser video. That was Memorial Day weekend. Because I remember I kept saying to y'all what was going on, like what was in the barbecue sauce. Memorial Day weekend, we saw on Instagram the fight that went down, or the tussle, whatever y'all want to call it. And I analyzed that short clip. And I remember saying in the clip, y'all, that the Scott brothers had been wanting to fight Martell, or that they were looking for a reason. Now, I have so many different opinions on the way that this episode went down, y'all. Like, so much was going on that I had to pay attention step by step. Okay. So, Bondi, I'm right there with you. Bell Collective was boring to me too. Y'all saying Team Ho. Okay. That's too funny. Candy on Bell Collective, she says Carlos annoys me, but at least he watched the show, unlike Andy, right? But yeah, y'all. Yeah, I think they've been wanting it with Martell. I honestly do. It's deeper than what we think, okay? So let's break this show down. Actually, I didn't come to y'all last week. So before we can break it down, I just have to make one comment. I have to make one note. Last week's episode, we saw Tisha and Marceau having a conversation on the empty plot of land where they're intending to build a house and have been since 2019. So when they were having that conversation, Tisha said that her mom's business is ready to be invested in. Marceau heavily advised against, investing in her business because he thinks that she's lying about her truck working, her food truck working. And Tisha's point to him was, I think it's interesting that you're so eager to give Martell another chance, but you don't want to give my mama a chance. Well, y'all, Marceau, his logic was that Martell's a great person. Martell helped build Scott. Martell, I think he was just in a tough spot. He's trying to make it seem like Martell was just between a hard rock and a rock and a hard place. But y'all, in all reality, Martell and you know shit about each other. Period. We've been saying it for a long time. Y'all was there in Atlanta when the picture was taken, when Ari or Coleslaw, whatever the girl's name was taking the picture. And I think it would just be foolish for Tisha to truly believe that your husband wants to help Martell out of the goodness of his heart. Tisha, your husband don't give a damn about Martell getting caught cheated on, but what he gives a damn about is his empire that he's built, the businesses that he's built with you, the family that y'all have together, okay? He might let you, be disrespected and you allow him to run around and do whatever he wants to do, so he's comfortable with that. But as far as anybody external potentially blowing up his family, this shit is not happening. So that's why he's more willing to help Martell versus helping your mama, who don't really hold stock in anything. Your mama don't know nothing about him. Your mom does not pose a threat to y'all's marriage because you are not leaving. However, the information that Martell has poses a threat. So I just had to go ahead and get that off before we step into this episode, since I didn't see y'all last week. So now, y'all, let's get into this episode. So we all know that Destiny is having her grand reopening or grand opening for her beauty supply store. Stormy arrives first. That was Stormy in the gold G-Wagon because Mel has a white one. Okay. When I say everybody can get it, like, I don't really think Stormy did anything. I don't. But I will give y'all, like, I'm going to try to give y'all my unbiased opinion. Well, not try, because I give that to y'all all the time. I'm going to give y'all my unbiased opinion, but when I tell y'all that the way I feel about Destiny is really like, girl, gone on, girl, go to sleep, that's just how I feel. I can see where she's coming from in certain situations, but for the most part, ain't nobody harboring that much hate for nobody to where you are really walking around with a stick up your booty hole. It just is what it is, okay? It just is what it is, okay? So Stormy arrives, y'all, and she shows up with the Gucci purse and flowers. And when she shows up, thank you, Crystal Harris, for the super chat. She said, the hate they have for Mel is unbelievable. Girl, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying that Mel handled this situation perfectly, but what I'm saying is the amount of botheredness, the amount of hate seething off of Destiny was just, like, damn, it's that deep? Even for Stormy. I'm like, girl, you don't even know Stormy. And you not gonna accept this Gucci bag? Stormy, Gucci me, please. Okay? But whatever, y'all. So, Stormy arrives with the Gucci and flowers. And when she gets out the car with her mama and her husband, Courtney, the manager of the beauty supply store comes up to Stormy and she says, how are y'all doing? I love your car. I love the color. But Miss Destiny is not letting you in. You got to go home. Destiny, strike one. Don't never have your beauty supply store manager playing security guard, okay? Anytime you have an event, especially one on a TV show, anytime you have an event of more than 50 people, they require you to have security on site, on the premise. So I don't know if the beauty supply lady getting paid enough to come escort people out, but I mean, she did it. You got you a good one. Okay, so she tells her that you gotta go. And then Melnika, y'all, I don't care what I said about Melnika. Melnika to me is very much giving friend of the athletes, but Melnika was making the most sense when it came from a business point of view. Melnika was like, Destiny, don't do this. Destiny, it's Black business. Caucasian people handle business all the time with people they don't like, and you really gonna do this? Melnika was trying to keep the peace, right? But let's keep in mind, y'all, Melnika was trying to keep the peace because she knows Stormy is a resource. Stormy is a resource for Destiny. And the way I feel about it is, Destiny, if you were that upset to potentially up your money, because let's not play like Stormy's products are not selling. If you were that upset to up your money, that's just how upset you would have been. And Melnika is a good ass friend, because I don't even know if Melnika is working for you or making any type of cut when it comes to keeping your business relationships going. So Melnika walks outside and she was like, no, Destiny just said that you can come in. You can actually come. So when Stormy walks inside, Destiny does not even take the gift out of her hand. Stormy walks in and she says, hey, hi, I wanted to extend an olive branch. I wanted us to be Gucci, so I got you this purse and I got you some flowers. Destiny stands there and looks at her. Stone face. Everybody is sitting there looking around, and Destiny does not even offer to grab the flowers out of her hand, does not offer to grab the purse out of her hand. And Stormy says, do you have a gift table? Do you have anywhere for me to sit it? She says, no, I don't. And if I was, yes, thank you, Miss Ann, for the comment. Please watch the profanity in the chat, because if you do too much, they're going to try to flag my little video. But anyway, if you didn't want to grab the gift out of my hand or designate a place for me to put the gift, girl, bye. Okay, I'm keeping it. And that's exactly how it would have went down. Stormy is such... Stormy in her meditation room has been working. Because if it were me, I probably would have walked out of the building. And it was in that moment when I sat there and I was like, wow, Stormy has really been sitting here meditating. Because I just couldn't. I couldn't. So chat, tell me what y'all think about that before we get even deeper into the mess that goes down. Because even more went down. And like, it was just ridiculous. So not only that, y'all, we see Kimmy and Tisha pull Destiny to the side because they want to talk to her like, you know, what's going on? Are you okay? And Destiny says, I'm fine. And they're like, well, if you're fine, you know, I've never seen you act like this before. What do you mean you're fine? What can be done for you all to be good again? And Destiny says, nothing can be done. Nothing can be done for us to be good again. I'm like, what? Y'all, I can't. And I immediately started laughing because I was just like, girl, if you're that hot about Stormy, okay, who you don't even know, you're upset because you're feeling like Stormy replaced you. If you're that upset about Stormy, just wait until Mel skirt pulls up. Okay, just wait. So anyway, that happens. And it was just very ugly to me, even the way that she was acting with Tisha and Kimmy. My thing is this, I've never understood being so upset at somebody else that whenever other people come up to you to discuss what's going on, you're projecting that energy onto them. And that's what Tisha and Kimmy was noticing. You were projecting the energy onto them and being rude to them. Because I'm the type of friend where I'm like, if I try to talk to you and calm you down and talk you off a ledge and you tell me that you want to jump, figuratively, not literally, but if you tell me that's what you want to do, girl, okay, I tried. But what I'm not about to do is take myself through the additional stress of calming you down while you're being rude AF to me. So that's what she did. Okay. So in Destiny's confessional, Destiny ended up saying that she was annoyed with the gift. And she says that if Stormy was truly there to support Black business, she wouldn't be the only Black business without her product. So that tells me that it's probably deeper, okay? It's probably deeper than what we know. Destiny probably wanted to carry Stormy's product. Stormy either denied her sending the product there or what, I have no idea. But what I do know is this, y'all. If Stormy was there to support Black businesses, I'm trying to understand why she wouldn't want her product in your store. But when you think about the business of things, y'all, yeah, who, Abby said, Destiny said, you took my friend and now trying to give me a Gucci bag that I can't afford. That is what she said. But whenever you think about the business of things, y'all, businesses require minimums, okay? If I decided to go out and create a custom water bottle today, I would have to go reach out to the vendor and say, what's the minimum order quantity, right? And like, what's the minimum order quantity for me to get this water bottle at 25 cents a water bottle? They would have said to me, well, you got to buy 100,000 water bottles. And that's when I would have said, well, damn, I only got 12,000 subscribers. Does it make sense for me to buy 100,000 water bottles? And it was probably one of those situations where it's like, okay, well, can you make your minimum 12,000 for me in my little channel, even though your bulk size is 100,000? Well, no, they can't do that. And that's just me thinking that, honestly, because based on the maturity that I see in Stormy, I couldn't imagine her denying to have her product in the store just based off, being petty. Anaya says, why would Stormy want her product at a store that's closed at half the time and empty on the other half? See, that's the thing. I honestly think it's just business. When they were in the store, half the wall was empty. So it's like you can't get, she did have some national brands in there. I seen, because I had my investigative hat on. I seen Cream of Nature in there. And then the pack hair in the background, usually when you go into the majority Asian-owned beauty supplies, the whole wall be full. This one hardly had anything in it. And the reason why is because these big national brands, much like Stormy's brands, probably did not want to send product to your store because it's too small or you haven't established the need for it yet. So I'm just like, girl, y'all, it don't even take all that explaining for me to make y'all understand that Destiny is hurt. Okay, that's all she came from. Destiny's hurt, right? Milky Way, all that stuff. She's hurt. So I'm just like, girl, goodbye. Ooh, okay. And then the good comment right here from the real Endot. Stormy may not have her product there because she said her shop is 2 minutes away. It could be proximity, right? She could cannibalize her business if she puts all her product in this beauty supply store instead of the store she already has. So goodbye. So Kimmy is just like, oh, I didn't realize it was that deep. So we'll move on from that. So when I said everybody can get it, I don't think that Stormy did anything wrong. However, coming from a different perspective, one of the things I did notice was the amount of times that Stormy said Gucci bag. Stormy was thinking to herself, girl, I didn't buy you this nice ass purse, which was a flex, and you're denying this nice ass purse? From Destiny's point of view, it was bigger than the purse, and Destiny was probably feeling like, girl, you're not gonna flex on me. I don't care if you brought a damn Birkin. That's probably where Destiny was coming from. I still think Destiny was dead ass wrong, but I could definitely understand Destiny like feeling some type of way about Stormy just Gucci everywhere. But y'all don't have real beef either. So I think we just need to get back down to the root of it and be like, what's the real problem? Is it because you've been demoted when it comes to Mel? Like, girl, what? So y'all, we move on from that to finally Mel arrives. This is the only thing I think that Mel did wrong. And I know a lot of people are going to be mad and they want me to give more smoke to Mel. But I think the only thing that Mel did wrong was show up to the event. The only thing she did wrong was show up to the event. I think that she had every right to address Wanda. I think she had every right to address Bernard. I think she walked into the business and she said hello to Destiny, whether it was half a hello. Hi, Destiny. She said hello. Okay? She said hello when she walked in. Mel's mama said hello louder than Mel. Destiny didn't even address Mel's mama. Okay, so I think the only thing Mel did was show up. That's the only thing that would have changed the series of events that happened. If Mel would never have showed up, none of this stuff would have never happened. Destiny still would have been bitter as fuck. She still would have been, and we still would have talked about it in our review. So I need y'all to think about that. Okay, the people who are gonna want me to have more smoke from Mel, I need you to think about that. Even if Mel did not show up, Destiny still would have been bitter AF just because Stormy was there. And it was just so unnecessary how upset she was that Stormy was. Okay, so when Mel walks in, she says, hi everybody. Hi, Destiny. And then I heard it the first time because I knew based on the previews that they gave us that Destiny walked out after her, because we saw this back in May. I knew Destiny walked out after her and said, you need to speak next time you walk into somebody's business. So when I was watching this episode, I was sitting on ready when Mel walked in, and I was like, I want to know if Mel said hi. And she did. She said, hi, Destiny. Miss Van said hi. Destiny said nothing. Destiny didn't even look at Miss Van. Destiny was so tuned in on Mel, on what Mel was doing. She was just so obsessed with the fact that Mel was there and so angered. And she had been ready to let this anger out that she couldn't hear nor see anybody else but Mel. So Destiny is on one side of her salon, Mel and Stormy on another side of the beauty supply store. And the people who are there with Destiny is asking her, oh, are you not going to go speak? And she's like, no, I'm not engaging in a conversation with the ops. Why would I go talk to somebody who don't know me? And who don't fuck with me, is what she said. And my thing was this, Destiny, like, you are the op. I think you need to realize that. Like, it was just so insane to me to hear her say, I'm not engaging in conversation with the ops. You are the op. Like, y'all, everything about Destiny has been the op since last season. You have continuously gone out of your, let's start here. You went to Tisha and you literally used the word enemy. You use words to provoke people, and I've noticed this. Everything about you is the op. You went to Tisha. You already knew that Tisha and Mel were purely tolerating each other because of the friendship that you had with Mel. As soon as Mel thought that you were moving funny, which you were, you went to Tisha and you repeated amongst the group, oh, I didn't know that Mel considered you to be her enemy. So just by you using the word enemy, you were level setting and instigating the real conflict that was there. And in all actuality, y'all, I think Mel was probably at a point in her life where she really did not give a fuck about Tisha. She probably did not care nothing about Tisha. And she just knew she didn't fool with her. But Destiny, yes, too feisty, was trying to emotionally manipulate people. So that's strike one, right? Not only that, last season, you went to the bounce house with Tiffany. When you went to the bounce house with Tiffany, you told Tiffany, oh, well, I didn't know that you and Mel were actually friends like that. I thought y'all were just work friends because that's what she told me. And you did that to further instigate. You did that to make Tiffany feel as though Mel had no loyalty to her. You tried to make Tiffany feel like Mel didn't give a fuck about her, but Tiffany was the one who was, giving more to the friendship. It was weird. So that's strike 2. Strike 3, multiple times between last season and this one, we've seen you facilitate the bullshit between Mel and Martell. Now, in no way am I saying that Destiny is responsible for Mel and Martell arguing. But what I'm saying is Destiny triggers. Just like 2 episodes ago, she went to Martell and said, yeah, I heard your ex-wife said this. Now she's the ex-wife. All when you were friends with her, you kept referring to her as Mel. So now you're trying to emotionally trigger Martell by reminding him that that's your ex-wife before you tell him about a rumor that she allegedly told Kimmy. Like, everything about you, Destiny, is the op. I don't understand why you sat there and said that you were not going to talk to the ops. That was, I think, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. When I think about all the mess that went down last night, Destiny saying that somebody else was her op was the wildest thing that I heard anybody say on the episode last night. It was weird. So while they're all separated, y'all, we see, yeah, you're right. Miss Ann said Tisha uses ex-wife phrases too. She does. Tisha did it last episode. She said, oh, your ex-mother-in-law. They do. That's just Miss Van. Y'all are all close enough to call her on a first name basis. It's in order to trigger. So I'm like, okay, bet. Y'all think we don't see it, but we see it. We see it. Evie says she antagonizes everyone. She throws rocks and tries to hide her hand, and Mel peeped her BS. Exactly. Okay. So anyway, y'all, we've been clocked Destiny. Let's move on from that to everybody's just standing around. Thank you, Kevin. Standing around the beauty supply store. And as they're standing around the beauty supply store, we see Martell and Miss Van having a conversation. And y'all, this was the funniest part of the episode. That boy was cheesing from ear to ear. That boy loves him some Mel, okay? It's a thin line between love and hate. And as much hate as we see going on between the two of them, he loves that woman. He is talking to Miss Van, and they're talking about their improvement in co-parenting. He had to let Miss Van know Mel stopped by the house. Mel invited me to Florida. And I think he's happy about it because he wants people to know, like, I don't want Mel to keep this a secret. Me and Mel are good. Like, he's happy. So Miss Van didn't know, and she talked to Mel about it, and Mel was like, oh, yeah, I invited him. And Mel, I know you probably wish you didn't do it at this point. I know you probably wish you didn't do it at this point. But while they're standing there, Mel was like, oh, okay, Miss Wanda is outside. I think it's time for us to leave. So Martell says, okay, I'll walk y'all to the car. Look at Martell acting like a stand-up gentleman, walking his ex-wife and his ex-mother-in-law to the car. And I'm being sure to use the word exes because I'm actually loving that Martell and Melody are getting along right now. Because y'all use the word X to trigger him. And it's only because y'all like to divide. Y'all like to divide and y'all like to weaponize Martell and Melody's hate against each other to further, worsen a situation. So when I seen him walking them to the car, I was like, you better walk your ex-wife and your ex-mother-in-law to the car. # Team Holt. Okay, regardless. So he walks them out. And as Melody walks out first, Destiny runs up behind her. And when Destiny walks out behind her, she says, yeah, you should have been escorted out just like you escorted out Tisha. You don't walk into nobody's shop and not speak to them. Y'all. I was like, girl, what? Girl, what? Y'all, even before that, when the cameras were inside the beauty supply store and everybody was in the beauty supply store, You could hear how awkwardly silent the get-together was. So you gonna tell me you had a whole block of time to say something to Mel while she was inside your shop and you didn't do it. You waited to chase her out, make a big scene in front of everybody. And this is the other thing, y'all. I told y'all that Destiny was so laser focused on Mel and carried so much hate for Mel that she saw nothing else. She said something to Mel before Miss Van had even walked out. That's how laser focused she was. That's how on Mel's tail she was, because she wanted to say something to her so bad. Destiny is so hurt. Destiny's hurt. And she was waiting for an opportunity to tell Mel how she felt. And that was whack as fuck. Okay? It was whack as fuck, Destiny. You could have said something to that girl when she was in your shop. You could have told her to leave if you believed that she didn't speak to you. But Mel kept it cute. Mel said, what? I did speak to you when I walked in. Run the tapes back. She spoke to her, just like we said. And Mel kept walking and said, with her little hourglass figure, girl, I ain't got time for this. And Mel kept walking down the street. So Miss Van then walks out. And when Miss Van walks out, Miss Van says, your business isn't going to go very far with that attitude. And Destiny says, you can dismiss yourself. Y'all, I am sorry. But if that was my mama, girl, I would have ran back into that shop so quick. So quick. You would have got lit up so quick. The bass that she was using in her voice was enough for me. I don't even care about the words that was coming out of your mouth. You did say you can dismiss yourself, but she said a couple other things before that, and it was the bass in her voice. It was the stance that she was standing, where I definitely would have came back and I would have threw paws, no hesitation, because wouldn't nobody disrespect my mama like that. And yes, that's exactly. She was lucky that Mel did not hear that. She was. And you did that in front of everybody, thinking that made you look better. You looked foolish talking to an older woman that way, Destiny. I'm like, what? Y'all, I've never in my life heard nobody, like in real life, I've never heard nobody disrespect a grown woman like that. And to y'all, and to just so y'all know, to me, that entire situation was just a display of how much hate and anger and hurt Destiny has, because when you really think about it, Tisha was put off by it. Kimmy was put off by it. It doesn't take none of that. Like, I get that y'all aren't friends, but why did it take all of that for you to, like, it was just so uncalled for, so unnecessary, and you looked foolish as hell. She did. Marissa said, I was ready to fight her. Miss Van is not even my mama. That's what I said too. I said I would have beat her at. I would have. You do not talk to nobody like that. Yes, Bonnie said she been saying Destiny is childish. She is. She is. Meanwhile, Destiny's daddy just sat on the sidewalk and he heard all of that. And I'm just like, girl, I cannot, y'all. I was shook. Like, I just can't even believe that you talked to somebody's mama like that. So we're going to move on. That's pretty much all I have for Destiny, okay? I don't give a damn if y'all want to call this a Destiny hate train, but what I tell y'all is y'all's queen looked foolish as hell last night, okay? And I think that this has come to a climax, because if you really been paying attention, like I have, taken notes, and all the breakdowns that I just mentioned to y'all, all the emotional trigger words that she's been using to upset people, that lets you know how much she has hated Mel. Okay? When Mel felt like she couldn't trust her, Mel probably was like, let me pump the brakes on her. And as soon as she pumped the brakes on her, that's when you forged this connection with Tisha. None of that is by coincidence, y'all. She's always had access to Tisha. So you really have to be careful about the people who you keep around you. And the reason why I'm thinking that is because, like, y'all know, if y'all been watching my channel for a while, I feel like I've expressed to y'all some of the friendships that I've been in. One in particular, because I'm not even going to make it seem like this is the common thing, but one in particular, the people who are closest to you are the people that you need to watch out for. Because this is one of the things I'm thinking about. This is why I respect, and this is going to go back around to Love and Marriage Huntsville, but if y'all been watching Bell Collective, Akeisha and Tambra are really, they claimed they were really close, that they were friends in high school. I admired the fact that Akeisha moved by a code. Even though they had got into it, one of the things that she was not going to do was entertain a side chick. She had some type of personal code to live by because her and that girl had been friends at some point. That was respectable. But when you're dealing with people who are willing to flip on you that fast and make connections with people who are your enemy, regardless of if Mel used the word or not, that's weird as fuck. That is so weird to me. Because if you and Mel sat down, had coffee, couldn't really pinpoint why y'all are not friends no more, and you know it's because you've been... None of that was warranted for you to go out of your way to become friends with Tisha. It's weird. Yes, Sam. Yes, Sam. It's so weird to me. Let's see. I'm trying to read y'all's comments. Let me catch up on these comments. Y'all, I cannot. Joe says, Destiny has severe communication issues, mom issues, and abandonment issues that she needs to work out in therapy because she's looking crazy the entire episode. Joe, you said it better than I could. Everything about her in this, like, these events would not be that deep to the average person. To the average person, these situations would not be that deep, which is why Kimmy was like really bewildered trying to understand why the hell Destiny was acting like that. But these situations are triggers for Destiny. You can clearly tell. I feel like Destiny feels like she's somewhat been abandoned by Mel because Mel, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, Mel never actually told Destiny why they were never cool, why they weren't cool anymore, and why she bumped the brakes on her. Mel's one of those people where, like, and I'm laughing because I have done this before. Whenever people do me wrong, it doesn't always, I gotta fucking fly. It doesn't always require addressing. Sometimes it's more fun, and sometimes I collect my peace by not addressing you at all and treating you accordingly. And that's exactly what Mel did to Destiny. I don't think Mel addressed Destiny at all. I think she started to treat her accordingly. You were having conversations about me with Tisha. You know the status of me and Tisha's relationship. That shouldn't be nothing I have to talk to you about. So you know what? I'm going to move on and handle you accordingly. And I think that this is what it is. Destiny is playing dumb. Destiny wants an explanation for something that she should already know. So by her not, getting Mel to play this game with her, well, what did I do? Tell me what I did. You are losing your mind and you're feeling abandoned. And that's exactly what it is. But the reality is you did it to your damn self. You did it to yourself. And I don't think Mel is wrong at all for not explaining to you why y'all aren't cool. I think you should run into a psychological circle of what did I do wrong? And you should be emotionally twirled and confused because you want to play dumb and you wanted to play games. So I think you're upset that somebody is playing games better than you and dismissing you from their life, which everybody has the right to do. You can dismiss people from your life with no explanation. And that's what Mel did. And Destiny is triggered because she's gone through things in her life and she don't know how to handle this at all. So hate to see it, but I mean, you shot yourself in the foot, Destiny, and that's exactly what it is. So let's move. Thank you. Thank you. Let's move on. Exactly, Keisha. We peep game and move accordingly. Okay? Exactly. Period. Because y'all, I just don't get it. Like, people always say, oh, well, you know, we were closer. We should have had a conversation about it. You would think because we were best friends, we would have a conversation about it. And the way I like to move is like, well, you would think that if we were best friends, you would have never even thought to do some shit like that. Okay? Like, never. So I feel like when I was younger, like when I was in high school, like early college years, I would give people benefit of the doubt. And I would say, oh, you know, well, maybe we should have a conversation about it. And now, like, as I'm older and real life shit starts to happen, I'm not going to give you the benefit of having a conversation about why you are moving like a snake. I'm not. You know that. So we can move on. Let's move on to Mel confronting Wanda. This was a long episode, but every single second of it was great. And every single second that I'm speaking to deserves this amount of attention. So Mel confronts Wanda at the nasty ass tent. And it was killing me because Mel walked up and she said, "Is that Bernard? Bernard, wasn't you talking about me last night on Instagram Live? Wasn't that you saying something about getting the choppers?" And Bernard's like, no, why would I have mess with you? Why would I have beef with you? And it's like, oh, well, that's exactly what I was thinking. And I was here for all the energy because I'm like, no, you talk all that mess online. Now that I'm in person, what's good, Bernard? So when she did that and she addressed Bernard, I was like, oh, yes, Mel, yes, light his ass up, okay? And y'all, that same energy was not kept on Bernard's behalf. But Bernard is the type of person who wants clout. That's why he was saying all that dumb stuff last episode. You're a controlling freak. Yeah, because you want to be on TV. You want to be on TV, which is why you got on Miss Wanda's live and you co-signed a lot of the stuff that she said. Now, before I get into the interactions between Miss Wanda and Mel, I want y'all to understand where all of this is coming from, because it's kind of confusing because they're talking about things that happen outside of the show. So y'all, Mel came on Carlos King's after show called Carlos King the Nightcap. When she came on Carlos King the Nightcap, at this point in time, she was already tired of Miss Wanda talking about her. It was even one season before, maybe 2 seasons before, where they had to address Miss Wanda because Miss Wanda said something about, I don't want Mel's kids to hang around my grandkids because they're probably jealous that my grandkids have better hair. She talked about a kid, okay? This wasn't her first time. So whether, and shout out to y'all. Yeah, I know. I see the blue lights on my glasses, but I mean, I got to see. So shout out to y'all who this is y'all's first time on my YouTube channel. Y'all be sure to hit subscribe, like the video, okay? Trying to get back on YouTube more often again, okay? But this episode, I was like, no, we turn it up on Sunday. Okay. So it starts with this. Couple seasons back, Miss Wanda was talking about Mel's kids' hair not being as good as her grandkids' hair. She talked about this on the internet. So the beef between Wanda and the Holtz have been there. This episode, the beef is coming from comments that Mel made on Carlos King the Nightcap. And I'm trying to get in the right position. On Carlos King the Nightcap, Mel showed up and she said that Wanda's baby daddy, who is Tisha's father, be in her DMs. Wanda got upset. Wanda took to social media and said, you worried about my baby daddy. You need to find out who your baby daddy is, because they say that the youngest one is with another man who you cheated on Martell with. It's not Martell's baby. She said that. So this whole episode, we kind of see Marceau and Martell arguing Did the chicken or the egg come first? That's basically what they're arguing. Was she talking about the adult or was she talking about the child? If you ask me, she's talking about the child. Tisha even played dumb. Tisha said, well, no, she was talking about the affair that Mel had. No, she wasn't talking about the affair. And one of the things I think is so funny, y'all, is we have had so much discussion about Martell and Ariane and Martell cheating and having an outside baby. Never once have we or the people on this show had discussions about Martell's outside child. All discussions have been about the parent. So for Tisha and Marceau to play dumb and make it seem like Wanda's comment only had to do with Mel is beyond me. It's beyond me. I'm like, y'all know damn well she was talking about the child. And even if she wasn't talking about the child by saying she didn't know who the child's father was, she's talked about the kids before. She's talked about their hair. So why is it so hard for y'all to believe that Miss Wanda was talking about the kid? I don't give a damn. You're questioning the paternity. You're bringing up children, right? So that's what y'all need to understand before we get into the altercation. That's what this argument is coming from. So Mel walks up to Wanda, and when she walks up to Wanda, she ends up saying, I'm coming up to you because I need you to stop talking shit about my kids. She's cussing. And Miss Wanda's like, okay, well, I'm a grown-ass woman. You don't need to come up to me. Bring your mama in it. And Miss Van, I loved it. Miss Van stood back there like this. She's handling it. As Mel is cussing this messy-ass old lady, spritz, pump it up, bingo, going ass lady up, okay? Mel is lighting her up. And I'm here for it because her mama was sitting there on ready. Like, I don't need to say nothing to you. And I think that everything was warranted. Everything that Mel said was warranted. So Mel's like, what's the reason why you keep talking about my kids? And Wanda says, well, the reason is on my tape right here. She bringing out her iPhone talking about it's on my tape. And Wanda is saying that the only reason why she questioned the paternity of the child is because of comments that Martell made on a YouTube interview with Dr. Heavenly. Y'all, I don't believe that. Wanda would have been talking about it regardless. I don't believe that it took Martell to go on YouTube to say that for you to talk about it. Regardless, y'all, if Martell said it, it's because he was mad at his ex-wife, okay? Martell knows that he's their child father. And the fact that you repeated it is just enough for you to get cussed out. I don't care. What's this question? Do you think it's a case where it was a case where she had to show up? I don't understand. Show up where? But anyway, yeah. So she's telling her, keep all my children's name out your mouth. And y'all know Mel was mad. Mel was mad, and the Alabama came out of her because in her confessional, she said, keep all my kids' name out your mouth, okay? I'm just like, what? Damn. Hey, Marco. Marco said, I don't know who pissed me off more, Destiny or Wanda. Y'all, for me, it wasn't Wanda. For me, if I had to choose who pissed me off more, it was going to be between Destiny and Tisha and Marceau. Because the ability for y'all to play dumb, for Marceau to be scheming the way he was scheming, which we're going to get into, I can't. Okay, so in the confessional, yes, Wanda ends up saying that she got the idea from Martell on Heaven's Live. Tisha jumps in the middle of Mel and Wanda, as well as Martell. So we got Melody, Martell standing in front of Melody, Tisha standing in front of Wanda, and then Wanda. And they're both pointing in front of each other's faces, and Tisha standing there, and they're trying to de-escalate the whole situation. Marceau walks up to Tisha, and he says, Tisha, I need you to get out of the middle of this, because if Marcel Scott goes to jail, it's not going to be good for our family. We're going to lose our businesses. I need you to listen to me. And y'all, I was thinking to myself, why would Marcel Scott go to jail? Why would Marcel Scott go to jail because these women are fighting? To me, y'all, and when I say Marceau was scheming, Marceau said this because Marceau didn't give a damn about Wanda getting her ass whooped. And Marceau did not want to be put in a predicament where he was going to have to jump in on behalf of Wanda. So I don't think it had anything to do with Martell, like he said. I think he just felt like Wanda talked a lot of shit, let her handle her own business, but it's not going to affect our household. But instead of telling his wife simply, I don't give a fuck about your mama, he tried to dress it up and make it sound like, oh, well, Tisha's standing in front of Martell, and Martell doesn't have the best experience handling his anger. Marceau, do you know something we don't know? Does Martell have a history of putting his hands on women? Because to me, Martell was never a threat to any of those ladies. So for you to say that, to me, I'm just like, either you know something we don't know, or you just don't want to tell Tisha that you don't give a damn about her mama getting her ass whooped. And that's exactly what it was. And I wish that you would have said that. Miss Ann, thank you so much for moderating this chat. Y'all, please misspell the cuss words, please, because they're going to flag it, okay? Thank you, Sam J. But yeah, Marco was confused too. I was just like, what is going on? Okay, and DC Native says Martell should have never spoke against his wife. Once a man speaks ill of his family, he's given the green light for others to disrespect them. He should have never put Mel in that situation, period. That's true. He should have never. But Wanda should have never repeated it. I don't give a damn. Okay, so let's start there. Marceau was scheming. And he wanted Tisha to get out the middle of this. So Wanda, she is inside the beauty supply store at this point because everyone has separated. Mel has gone back to her car. Wanda's in the beauty supply store. I'm finna swang on that hoe. I'm finna swang. She's ready to fight. And it was just funny because Maurice was sitting there playing defense. Oh, Miss Wanda, don't go. Oh, Miss Wanda, don't do that. Left, right, left. Maurice was really trying to stop her from going outside. So outside, you see Martell and Mel and Miss Van, and they're inside Melody's car. Well, Miss Van and Melody are inside Melody's car. Martell is standing outside the beauty supply store having conversation with Tisha and Marceau. Tisha is sitting there saying, she's sitting there really trying to make herself look confused. She wasn't talking about a child. I just don't get it. I don't understand. She wasn't talking about a child. When, girl, it was clear she was talking about a child. And Mel gets so upset to the point to where she's just like, Tisha, you need to get the F out of here with that shit. And she said she was definitely talking about a child, right? And great question. Never saw production security, ever. Never did. Where was production security? Never seen him. So Mel gets upset and she's like, Tisha, why are you playing dumb? And Tisha's like, no, she's talking about the affair that she had on her husband. And I'm just like, y'all, this is not going to age well. Tisha capping for her mama. Tisha trying to throw out the fact that Mel had an affair. None of this is going to age well, Tisha. You need to stop going up for your mama. You need to stop trying to villainize Mel, because before you know it, you could very well be in the same situation as her. You really could. And it's just like so wild to me that you're getting involved. And that's part of the reason why your husband told you not to get involved. Because the minute you get involved, Martell is going to have to say something on behalf of Melody. And when he does, that's when Martell has the power to potentially blow up Marceau's whole spot. And you don't want that to happen. So, yes, Martell and Marceau are outside. Mel is sitting in the car, and this is whenever Mel was on live. So Martell says, okay, well, if she wasn't talking about the kid, listen, Marceau ends up saying she was talking about the parent, not the child. And Marceau says it's both. She's talking about both the parent and the child. And I'm like, okay, look at Martell standing like he got some sense. Marceau says, well, if that's the case, y'all are talking about Tisha's daddy. Tisha's daddy, parents should be off the limits. If kids are off limits, parents should be off limits. And it's like, Marcel, you are so smart at manipulating Tisha to believe whatever the hell it is that you want her to believe. You are so smart at manipulating your way out of situations that you should be held accountable for, but you can't put two and two together. How are parents off limits if it's Tisha's parent who's starting the mess? If it's Tisha's parent who is in Mel's DMs, it just is what it is. Tisha's parent needs to go sit her elderly ass down and stay out of the drama if you want parents to be off limits. So I was like, y'all are insane that y'all are both sitting here trying to get people to believe that the sky is red when it's blue. So next, y'all, Marcel says, listen, Marcel says, who is it? Either one of them said, damn, I can't remember which one said it. I think Marcel said to Martell, you ain't got to say nothing else. And Martell turned around and said, nigga, I can say whatever the hell I want to say. And when he did that, this is where it turned physical. Martell did not put hands out first. Marcel did not put hands out first. And at the same time that all of this is happening, Wanda runs up around the parking lot and takes a deep V and lunges at Mel. Maurice grabs his hand to try to push Martell out the way. Maurice is the reason why it turned physical. One of the things I think people don't understand is when you see two people arguing and you decide to push somebody in order to referee, a fight is going to ensue every single time. That's the same thing that happened on Real Housewives of Potomac. When when Candace and Monique, and I'm not about to argue this with y'all, okay? I'm not about to argue who was wrong or right, but I'm just clearly pointing out to y'all that's what happened. Candace and Monique were arguing on Real Housewives of Potomac, and that's where you saw Giselle push one of them to try to beat the defense and separate them. Anytime you put hands on somebody when it's a fight, it's always the third and fourth parties that be setting shit off. But the reason why I felt some type of way about this is because when Maurice pushed Martell back in order to separate him, Marceau took that as an opportunity to lunge at him. So y'all immediately gave, she pushed Monique, okay. But anyway, y'all immediately gave Martell the underhand because you had already put him into a position where he couldn't defend himself because your brother had got ready to jump at him as soon as you put your hand out to block him. So that was messed up. That was messed up. Somebody said Maurice let her out the other door. And like, I don't know if it was intentional that Maurice did that, but the reason why I'm trying to give Maurice benefit of the doubt is because Maurice actually admitted to his brother, yes, Wanda was talking about a child. I think Maurice had good intentions to try to push him away, to try to separate the two. But my question is this. Martell was walking away from Marceau. So if Martell was walking away from Marceau, he was no longer the threat. The threat was your brother. You should put your hands on your brother, not Martell. So they end up throwing hands, arguing, people's holding back Marceau. Marceau's mad. And I'm thinking to myself, why did all this happen between the men? Why did the men get to this point of fighting? Because that's the one thing we didn't know. When we watched the Instagram lives, we knew that Martell was fighting. We knew it was on behalf of Mel. But what I need y'all to understand is it's all much deeper than what we're seeing. Destiny being angry the way she is, much deeper than Stormy showing up with a Gucci bag. Destiny acting like Mel couldn't hear her because her ears were blocked with anger, much deeper. Okay? The men fighting on the word go, much deeper than what happened at that beauty supply store that day. Y'all are fighting because the spot is about to be blown up. And honestly, y'all, the only reason why I think it got that intense between Martell and the Scotts is because they make each other nervous. let me not even say they make each other nervous. Martell makes the Scotts nervous. Martell being disinvited from the housewarming party by Kimmy, that's because he makes them nervous. They don't know what spot he's going to blow up. Tisha getting on board with her husband to give Martell a job back, that's because Martell makes y'all nervous. At the beauty supply store, whenever y'all went to blows immediately, it didn't take all that. It's because Martell makes y'all nervous, because Martell knows something. Shout out to Wanda Marshall for the super sticker. I appreciate it. And it's just like, was much deeper than what it was. The way that Marceau blew up is because Martell knows something. So in the confessional, Martell, I'm laughing because this is probably the only time that I felt like I could side with Martell. As bad as Martell was dependent on the Scotts to get his finances back right, he still did the right thing, and he still went up for Mel and Miss Van, and he should have. But in his confessional, he just says, yeah, I don't know how we're ever going to fix this. You know, I hope this thing doesn't hinder business. What? Martell, your job is lost. Martell, your job is gone. You might as well open up that damn book and get started on your builder's license, because you are not going to be working with the Scotts after this. So it was just funny to me that he really thought that there was a chance for him to continue working, and that he would question what the relationship would be like. There is no relationship. And I honestly don't know how we can move forward from this. So yeah. Oh, and to be more specific, Marceau says he didn't hear Wanda say that she was talking about a child, because his brother was like, yes, she did. And then Martell said to Marceau, if you didn't hear it, then what the F are you talking for? Marceau says to Martell, I can talk about whatever the F I want to talk about. Maurice tried to hold back Martell, and then that begins to fight. So y'all, everybody can get it, okay? Martell was innocent. Kimmy was innocent. Stormy was innocent. Maurice, you ensued the physical part of the fight, but regardless, your brother was on ready because Martell makes him nervous, okay? When it comes to Mel should have never showed up to the beauty supply store, but hell, everybody else on the cast was at the beauty supply store, and I would have took my ass there to film, because I would have addressed your mama. And I'm right there with you, Bondi. Maurice needed to hold back his brother because Martell was walking away. Martell wasn't about to throw hands at that man. He wasn't. And I think it's even funnier that the previews for next week, you see Tiffany talking to somebody. Tiffany says that she heard from Destiny that Mel did a V-line to Miss Wanda. We all saw last night that when it came to the physical parts of the argument, Wanda ran up on Mel for one. Martell tried to walk away from Marceau. Maurice held him back, where his brother Marceau took a throw. He threw. Anything that was physical last night came from the Scotts. And the only reason why all this blew up is because the Holts make them nervous. And Tisha is ignorant to all of the stuff. Or let me not say she's ignorant. Tisha likes to play like she's ignorant to the things that Martell knows. And Marceau is always trying to get his wife to shut the F up before Martell says something. Now, the only upside to this that the Scotts have is that Martell still wants some money. Martell still wants a job. So Martell may not tell what he knows just yet, but I think you should. And I hope you did. You probably didn't, because in the next episode, it looks like you're going to be talking to Mel about how y'all can repair a relationship. I'm just like, girl, I cannot, y'all. This episode was crazy. But what I loved about this episode is I feel like it showed everybody for who and what they are and have been as long as we've been watching this show. I think that everybody was revealed in the episode last night. And it was because emotions were so high, they could not hide it. Nobody went, unseen. We saw people for who they are. One of the other things that I forgot to mention, y'all, and y'all may have seen it, before the fight happened, when Tisha was underneath that tent, she said, "This is giving real hip hop. We didn't sign up for this. I'm about to go put my slides on." Slides for what? Slides for what? And y'all tell me if y'all noticed that. You're not putting slides on, Tisha, because your feet hurt. You putting slides on because you about to transform into your other side of the tracks. And you know that it might get to the point to where you might have to be throwing hands with your mama. Too Feisty says she peeped it. Yeah. She's talking about this getting real hip hop. We didn't sign up for it. You did. You did. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got for Love and Marriage Huntsville. If this was y'all's first time on my channel tonight, it feels like nighttime. If this was y'all's first time on my channel, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I believe Real Housewives of Potomac is going to come on tonight. So I'm going to be back to talk to y'all tomorrow about Real Housewives of Potomac. With that being said, y'all, I hope y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.